Yes, I'm Cadillac Dixon. I'm the drama like Prism. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice. Hoping, because you got to hold your breath for justice. To see justice before all face to black. Yes, his your girl Cadillac. Anyways, coming through today, March the 4th, 2025. Um, we're gonna finish Project Reach the World, Introverted Rockstar. This will be session 3. Session 2, I recorded, and it just kept loading, and none of it actually captured. So it was really about a 30, almost 40-minute live where I was working on this piece and I was reviewing the wrongful conviction story of, gosh, it's been a minute. Hold on, let me see. The wrongful conviction story. Because there's so many wrongful convictions that I cover almost every day. But still, people say they don't happen. I'm actually behind on covering the stories, but I'm also feeling kind of unmotivated because I do this and I don't get any, like I don't see growth at all. Like no matter what I do, it's literally not growing. And if it's growing so much. I mean, so little that it's really insignificant. So I've been saying I need to just cut back. I'm really just wasting my time. Okay, I was recovering the story of Robert Johnson, wrongfully incarcerated, while drawing Introverted Rockstar. Okay, so rather than speak today, I'm not gonna say too much, just in case it don't record. Ain't no point in all of that. But I'm just gonna draw. We're gonna listen to Introverted Rockstar, and here we go. I need to go and finish this up so that if I do another Project Reach the World, which now Project Reach the World is 20 years old. So I have been posting, drawing, writing songs, painting, creating, doing the most for 20 years with intentions to break my husband's wrongful conviction, and I have done nothing. I should have taken several freaking seats. But now here we are, 20 years down the line. I'm still posting my artwork, still nobody cares, or very little. I have several supporters, but it's not enough to move the needle. It's not enough to overturn my husband's wrongful conviction. It's not enough to, it's just not enough. All that I've done in 20 years is not enough. I can't get no support. So let's watch his latest video, Introverted Rockstar, while we complete drawing him. He is the first Project Reach the World of 2025 that I'm doing. The internet is really slow, so it's not doing much of anything. Here we go. I am reviewing. Hold on. I need it on the loudspeaker. Bluetooth, I'm sorry, not a loudspeaker.
We have to stop letting him take advantage of our people and getting away with it. So on this channel, I bring awareness to my people. And we have to speak up for Angie Stone because Angie Stone made this song. speaking up for black men. She wasn't bashing us. She wasn't kicking us while we was down. She was breathing life into us when she made that song. So it's only right that we speak up for her when she's not here. But before we break this story down, check this out.
Anyway, what happened 2 days before my show? Whew. But God, I'm trying to keep from crying because the devil was very, very, very particular in targeting me.
I literally could not even sleep last night. I went to sleep listening to a live about Miss Angie Stone, and I could not even sleep. The story is too sad. Okay, so this is the picture of introverted rock star that I'm doing. All right, let's continue. Rest in peace, Miss Angie Stone.
Anyway, I was rushed to the hospital because I wasn't breathing so well. Came to find out I had what was a bacterial blood infection that I had gotten when they stuck me with the needle. It had went into my bloodstream and caused a staph infection of the blood. Now, I didn't have a clue that there was a blood infection until they rushed me into ICU. I went into ICU and I went to use the restroom and I passed out in the restroom. My oxygen went all the way down and rendered me basically unconscious.
And damn, so that 18-wheeler accident wasn't their first attempt trying to unalive her. And it's very rare that we see an artist sit down on Instagram Live and really call out the whole music industry. And you got Drake, he's suing the record labels and stuff like that, but he didn't sit down and break it down. So if Angie Stone can break it down, we can break it down. And look, I need y'all to do me a favor. I need y'all to watch this full video because at the end, I'm going to have a powerful short clip from Angie Stone. And let's get right into this article so I can show y'all how dirty, how racist, how cold these people really are. This article is by Montgomery Advisor. It was published March the 2nd, 2025. Grammy-nominated singer Angie Stone dies in Alabama interstate crash. Authorities released official details on the fatality, which involved two collisions. The collisions with the 2021 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van Stone was a passenger in happened at 4:25 a.m. near the 162-mile marker, about 5 miles south of Montgomery City line. The first collision had the Mercedes-Benz in a single vehicle crash in which the van overturned on I-65. And look, this is my question. What caused that van to overturn multiple times? And if that van overturned multiple times, where's the cameras? I-65 has cameras on it. I've been driving trucks for 10 years. I took that route so many times. It has cameras. Where's the cameras? After the van overturned, Alabama law enforcement said it was struck by a 2021 Freightliner Cascadia driven by Jared S. Wilkinson, 33, of Skidmore, Texas. According to Alabama law enforcement, it is believed that the second collision unalived Stone. The driver of
Marcella Wood call right now in the middle of this. Really don't want to stop, but let's see. Is he gonna call back to back to back if I don't?
An inmate at a Florida Department of Corrections institution. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse, your current balance is $19.04. This call is from a corrections facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using Global Tellink.
Hello? Yeah, I'm doing a live and drawing. Oh, do you think you're able to? It would be nice if you could, so that I could finish and don't have to restart, but if you can't, then I'll just stop it. What's wrong? Alright, it's only gonna be less than 30 minutes, so you can call me back in 30 minutes, right? So just call back in 30 minutes. Alright, love you.
Thank you for using Global Towing.
Okay. Let's get
I have a
back.
challenge for you. I want to know if you'd like to write a book, your own book, and only
For treatment. So look, according to them, a truck driver from a sundown town in Texas on Mardi Gras weekend and an Oscar Award weekend, they wanted all the distractions so people wouldn't sit back and put two and two together. You telling me out of all them people in that van, she was the only one to be unalive? First the van flipped, then a truck.
I mean, I really want to talk to him and would talk to him, but I am so unmotivated with even doing my artwork that when I do get myself together to do it, I need to not be distracted because it's hard enough to even do my art. The more that I see that I'm doing it, just for me to look at, is Project Reach the World, but I'm project reaching hardly nobody. It gets really hard to keep going and keep producing artwork. My art definitely ain't making me no money. So when I get up enough, energy, I need to go ahead and utilize it. All right, let's continue.
Out of nowhere, ironically, and hits the van. Make that make sense. On I-65, I-65 is the easiest interstate to drive on. You telling me a truck driver didn't see that van flipped over? Make that make sense. And then I said, wait. Why is the only pictures online of this accident is people driving by? That's the only pictures. You see no clear pictures. Usually it's a professional photographer that goes on the scene and takes pictures of the accident. You don't see no professional pictures. All the pictures you see is from people in their cars driving by. All the videos you see is people in their cars driving by. Why is no professional pictures? And look, I found the driver of the Sprinter van. His name is Neethel Carter, 66 years old, from Georgia. I went to his Instagram page just to see if he said anything about Angie Stone, like a rest in peace, anything. I saw nothing. And then I found out he was a felon. And I'm not going to put that on him. I'm not going to say, oh, he's a felon, he did this on purpose. But it's some questions that we need answers to. Did someone pay you to do this? Did they threaten you? If you don't do this, you going back to jail? What it was, we need answers. And in that video I posted earlier, Angie Stone already said when she was in the hospital, the only people that had her back was her kids. And none of her kids was in that van. And it's still so hard for me to believe that she was the only one to be unalive in that van with 9 people. That's crazy. A truck hit your van and the van flipped over 3 times and you're the only one? Make that make sense. And then I said, wait, let me go to UMG Instagram account and see if they said anything. They said rest in peace, anything. I went to their Instagram account. Nothing. They posted nothing of Angie Stone. And look, like I mentioned earlier, as soon as you call these record labels out, ironically, you're unalive. Ironically, you go to prison. Ironically, you lose all your money and you go broke. And we got a lot of examples. First one, we got Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke owned his own record label. Sam Cooke owned his own publishing. And they didn't like that. They wanted to take all that from them. They wanted him to be under their control. And guess what happened to him? In 1964, they unalived him in a hotel. And they said a woman of the night did. I can't say the P word, but they said a woman of the night unalived him. Make that make sense. You see the games they play when it comes to our people? And he's not the only one. You got Lisa Left Eye Lopez. After she exposed her record label for stealing money from TLC, guess what they did to her? The same thing, the same exact thing they did to Angie Stone. She had 8 other people in the car with her, Left Eye, 8 other people in the car with her. And ironically, in the car crash, she was the only one that died. And then you got Aaliyah. She was on the plane after she ended her contract with Jive Records and went over to Atlantic Records. Guess what happened to her? It had 9 people on the plane. You see this? All nines. It had 9 people on the plane, and the plane crashed. Make that make sense. And look, with these stories, I can go on and on. And look, Angie Stone was on her way before that accident happened. She was on her way to go perform at the CIAA game. And I said, what's the CIAA game? Check this out. A CIAA game is a basketball game played between teams from historically black colleges and universities, HBCUs. The CIAA stands for Central Intercollegiate Athletic Association, which was founded in 1912. It's the oldest and longest running African American athletic conference in the U.S. And look, I believe Angie Stone this year was really going to expose UMG, and they was afraid of that. She was about to go to this game. You don't think she was going to get on that microphone and really say how she really feels? And these record labels, UMG, they need black artists because that's what's keeping them rich. Over 50 years in the game, and she still has to perform shows back to back.
And also, black artists are used to, not all of them, but a lot of them are used to keep up this illusion that keeps us going to places like prison and stuff like that. So they definitely need artists of our hue to, you know. But Angie Stone wasn't making that stereotypical music. So it is my belief, now I said I wasn't gonna talk, but when you are an artist that doesn't bend your morals, that doesn't, I believe they keep you in that class B artist, as a B-list artist. They don't let you arise to being, you know, the big top artist or whatever. So though Angie Stone is a pretty big artist, I believe most times they get limited and stay as a B-list artist because knowing that I don't know, they just don't let you in there like that. Not speaking truth, right? Not uplifting our people. They don't let you. Not like that. You definitely got to change a lot of things to be able to become an A-list artist, right?
She's 3
That's
years
my
old
opinion.
because they've been robbing her all these years. She has to perform back-to-back shows. Make that make sense. And look, I'm gonna say this: in 2025, if you trying to get famous through these racist, evil Caucasian people, you're tripping. If you don't see the signs, look at what happened to Angie Stone. She trusted these people with her money, and all these years they've been stealing from her. They stole her royalties. Damn. And look, I'm gonna say this: if you're black, you're talented, and you're gifted, stay independent. Take care of your own money. Do your own research. You cannot trust these people. Everybody that ever lived that was somebody that was famous
And
and
one
made
thing I
great
can
music,
say to
they
that,
got robbed. Just do your research.
he said to stay independent. The one other thing is you can stay independent, but there's a flip side. You're still going to need support. So we have to start supporting artists that are out there actually doing stuff so that they don't have to go other routes. Because it's very, very difficult to get us to support. Just as my project, I can't get my community to support me for no thing in the world. So my project never gets off of ground. We're gonna have to support these artists that are trying to stay true to us, to our community, to themselves, and not sell out, right? Because it's not really much of an alternative. It's like I was in music for a long time, and my only alternative was basically sell out, quit, which is what I did, or conform to what they want. put out the product they want you to put out, which usually is nothing good for our communities.
Be different?
So we
No.
gotta support.
And look, we don't have to cross over. If you're making the music for the people go support you. And I know we have a lot of people that act just like this. I can't say the word, but you know what I'm talking about. We have a lot of those type of black people. Don't focus on them. They just mad because they really don't love their people. They really don't love their people. They love racist Caucasian people. They feel safer. They feel like Caucasian people will never do them harm. But trust me, if you're really for the people, they really will support you. You don't have to sign to other people that's not really down for our culture. You don't have to do that. And rest in peace to Angie Stone. Thank you for making music that spoke to our soul. We will never forget you. And just like I promised y'all, here's a short clip from Angie Stone. I'm out.
Now, I am gonna say that music, it is easier to put it out independently than it was in the past, but it's still pretty difficult. You know, they say people make it on TikTok every day with music, but TikTok still has that thing on it where it doesn't allow you organic growth. None of these platforms really allow you to grow organically. They kind of hide you, they bury you, they don't let your followers see you. They do a lot to obstruct you if you're not going along with that narrative that they want out there. Now, if you're going with that narrative, the reverse will happen. They'll support you so fast, they'll show your content out, and it gets very difficult. It's like, it's so hard. It is so hard as an artist. And I'm not talking from a successful artist, which I very well should be successful. If you look at my track record, there's no way I should still be a minimum wage worker, but I am. But this is the perspective from the artist that will not bend, is not going to fall into, is not going to conform. Like I told you, a producer asked me, what was I willing to change? And I was like, I can get better at certain things, but I'm not changing. And that man walked off from me. Back then, I did not understand it, but I fully understand it now. And right now, I can thank and praise God that I never got my foot in that industry. Like, I was beating down the devil's door. I've met so many famous people, got my music, my artwork straight to them. But God's protection stopped me from getting into that industry. Do you think if I got in that industry, do you really think I would have been able to do something like Project Reach the World? Talk about wrongful convictions, right? I doubt it. They would have changed my tune so fast. But, all right, let's finish this one up. No, Marcello gonna be calling right back. I want to be done by the time he calls. But yeah, I hate it. It's like art means so much to an artist. It's hard to separate an artist from their art. Like, in me, it's hard for me. Like, when you reject my art, I literally feel like you're rejecting me. So it's very hard to separate art from the artist. So the artist is created by the creator to create. Created by the creator to create. And if you as an artist can't create, you feel like you are not. I wanted to do so many videos on that, being a creative and stuff like that. But injustice always takes precedence. It's like it's hard for me to do anything but talk about injustice. But I wanted to start doing some content about that. Seeing if some artists feel me on that. Like, and you don't want your art like dictated. Like, you really want to put out what is laid in your heart by the Holy Spirit to create. Like, my best art is just, it's not me. These are gifts that God allows me to use while I'm here on earth, right? So I want to use them in a way that pleases Him. Because in the end, I got to answer about my art. What did you do with those gifts? What did you use them for? Did you exploit them because you needed to make $1? All right, let's listen.
Short clip from Angie Stone. I'm out.
I just want to put some things in perspective and in check. Now there's this media company that's trolling my page, things that I was sharing with my fans for my fans' benefit, only regarding my dealings in the industry over 50 years and things I wanted to share for the benefit of my fans and me in the industry. And of course, you know, I've had a lot of association with a lot of people, but I'm not one to drag anybody's good or bad beings. However, they say if you don't have something good to say, just don't say anything. Be editing and taking stuff. They're trolling my page, taking interviews day after day after day and piecing them together to make the world believe that, oh, Angie Stone's out here dragging this one and dragging that. Never that. I would never do that. Just like they told y'all I was a dead girl and I'm very much alive. It's because they're looking for numbers and they want you to pay for that information. Why you got to pay for it and I'm giving it to you? Don't waste your time or your money. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna need for y'all to stand for something. Quit falling for anything. Okay, on that note, y'all have a blessed Sunday. Oh, and trust and believe. They're gonna take it down shortly.
Yeah.
I promise you that. Peace and blessings. Love you much.
Okay, so let's go to one more video.
Hey guys, Tony Mathis here, and question I get all the time is, how do I make money?
Hate all these ads on YouTube. There's a massive load of ads. That's to make you get the YouTube Premium. Okay, but I can't add no more bills to my. Can't even hardly pay all the bills I got. Add another bill. Let's listen to this one.
I'm gonna be honest, all 10 of those officers that got charged, they deserve the same beating, the same that Mr. Robert Brooks received. They deserve the same thing. Those pale, pig-skinned, dog-smelling, racist Caucasians, they all deserve to be handcuffed and get the same treatment that Mr. Robert Brooks got. Especially after I saw this video. Check this out.
This was a continuation of injustice. I never, once in my community, seen when you release someone for murder in the second degree. I'm someone who was arrested, indicted, and wrongfully convicted for murder in the second degree. When I was arrested, I didn't get no bail.
They're going home to their families tonight. All of them. It's two systems that we're dealing with here. It's a system that's for righteous people and a system for people that don't look like us. So, you know, this is a step in the direction, but it's like justice delayed is justice denied.
Robert Brooks' father, angry and emotional, had these words to say.
My question is why? That's my question. Why?
Hold on.
Why do y'all hate us so? Why? What do we do?
Wait a minute.
What do we do?
His father was wrongfully incarcerated? His son, let me look at this again. His son, they wrongfully outed him, like literally. But his father as well? My God. it's sad. Like they break up generation after generation after generation through this stuff, and nobody still.
Righteous people and a system for people that don't look like us. So, this is a step in the direction, but it's like this.
Release someone for murder in the second degree. I'm someone who was arrested, indicted, and wrongfully convicted for murder in the second degree. When I was arrested, I didn't get no bail.
They're going home to their families tonight. All of them. It's two systems that we're dealing with here. It's a system that's for righteous people and a system for people that don't look like us. So, this is a step in the direction, but it's like justice delayed is justice denied.
Robert Ricks, Brooks' father, angry and emotional, had these words to say.
Okay,
My question is why?
That had me confused. I was about to say, how in the world? But still, that was one of the advocates saying he was wrongfully incarcerated, which people turn blind eyes, ears, plug up their ears, and all of that when you go to saying you're wrongfully incarcerated. They feel like that's the rightful place for our men incarcerated. So rather wrongful, they still feel like it's rightful. But Robert Brooks, he was incarcerated and he was deleted while being incarcerated at the hands of officers.
That's my question. Why? Why do y'all hate us so? Why? What do we do? What do we do? We help you build this country. We help you build it. Blood, sweat, and tears. We help you build this country. So why do you hate us?
The Onondaga County District Attorney, the special prosecutor in this case, held a press conference afterwards. When asked why bail was set for murder charges, this was what he had to say.
This is New York.
And you know what they love to tell you? They love to tell you anything that happens, it don't matter how horrible it is, they like to tell you, well, he shouldn't have never did what he did. So basically, he shouldn't have never been in prison and this wouldn't have happened to him, is what they're basically saying. How can you justify everything with that? He shouldn't have never did. So because someone did something they never should have did, which many of us had, you don't know what he was there for. And any of us could be there. It's so easy. Oh, this is about when it started making my thing load. So let me just stop talking and let me just finish drawing.
If you get bail on a case, you should, after you do a novena, just say thank you, Your Honor, for setting bail. The bail is not an issue in this case. Case is not going to be decided because someone's locked up for 8 months or 9 months till the case comes to trial.
Oh, they don't just give you bail. My husband had way less than a murder charge. And they don't just give you bail. You go get a lot of money. You go pay a lawyer, and then a lawyer gets you bail. They don't just outright give you bail. So if they just already set them bail, did they have to go through the legal process to even get the bail? And then, what is the bail? Is the bail set equally? Because we know that bail for black men is 3 to 4 times higher. Set higher than anybody else, any other background. They set it higher.
Not going anywhere.
All of the defendants are due back in court March 31st for a pre-trial hearing. Reporting in Utica, Brianna Supardi, CBS.
And y'all heard him? He said that them officers, by them going home making bail, it has nothing to do with the case. Well, why y'all still have P. Diddy locked up? And I don't condone his actions or none of that. But still, let him go home to his family. These dudes unallow somebody on camera for 30 minutes on video. And they get to go home. They get to go to court. They go straight back home. Make that make sense?
Oh, that part too. They say when you come to court, so they're not coming to court in those jumpsuits or whatever. When you come to court in a suit, when you come in a jumpsuit because you couldn't make bail, I don't know, sometimes they let you get your own suit or whatever, but that already formulates an image in the jury's mind that you're guilty. But we already know I liken all of that to basically like a stage play. So you have to watch my channel to understand. I break down trial. I break down the justice system. I break down how wrongful convictions happen. I break down how unequal justice happens. So I break down a lot of stuff. But
Now this, if the enemy, if a racist Caucasian person takes your child's soul, unalive your child, and the justice system fails your family, you have to stand on business. You have to get some get back. And at the end of this video, it's a plot twist. I'm gonna show y'all why these prison workers are really on strike. But let's get right into this article. This article is by Central New York News and Syracuse.com. It was published February 24th, 2025. 10th guard charged in fatal beating of Robert Brooks at Central New York Prison. Utica, New York.
why does it take that
and
long
10
to
New York
charge?
State prison guard.
Because the moment they arrest you, they already type up the charges. So the officers have the suggested charges, and then they formally charge you. Like, how did it take that long? That was instant with my husband in his wrongful conviction. They instantly did it. So how did it take us so long like this?
Was arraigned Monday on murder and other charges in the fatal beating of an inmate 2 months ago in a Central New York prison. The officer, Nicholas Kiefer, surrendered himself to the state police and was in handcuffs in Oneida County Court in Utica. He pleaded not guilty in a brief appearance before Judge Robert Varner. Kiefer, 33, was indicted on multiple charges, including second-degree murder, first-degree manslaughter, second-degree gang assault, and first-degree offering a false instrument for filing. He pleaded not guilty in a brief appearance. A brief appearance? What? And tell me this, how you get all those charges, second-degree, first-degree, gang-related, how you get all of these charges and you have a brief appearance and you make bail and you go straight back home to your family? It's dudes in prisons that did less than this.
That's what
and
I
got
just
no
said.
bail. Make that make
That's
sense?
what I just
You
said.
get to turn yourself in almost 3 months after the murder and then go right back home. We not letting this stuff slide. 8 other correctional.
Yeah. Y'all be thinking I'm lying, getting up here wasting my time for 20 years lying.
Other correction officers and you make bail and you go straight back home to your family. It's dudes in prisons that did less than this and got no bail. Make that make sense?
Innocent.
You get to turn yourself in almost 3 months after the murder and then go right back home. We not letting this stuff slide. 8 other correction officers and a prison sergeant also face charges related to the fatal beating of the inmate Robert L. Brooks. 3 prison system employees have reached plea agreements and at least 3 others remain under criminal investigation. The savage beating, which prosecutors said last week was the final of 3 beatings to Brooks, was recorded on video by body cameras worn.
I talk about the plea process too, where the plea actually really is and the purpose in it and what they misuse it to be.
4 of the prison guards. None had turned on their camera, but 30 minutes of video was passively recorded without audio. Now check this, the whole world is not hip to this story yet. It's so much going on in the news, people haven't caught up yet. But on March 31st, when they have to reappear back in court, trust me, the whole world will be watching. Those racist pale demons beat Mr. Robert Brooks multiple times before we even saw that video. So imagine the videos we haven't seen of these officers for years and years. Imagine. And you gotta step back and imagine the prisoners that was unalived by these guards all over upstate New York, and it was never reported or they lied. Just imagine that, because we just now seeing all this on video. It's really our first time ever seeing.
You can't hardly get the story out. That's fine.
Imagine the stories we haven't heard from families.
Yeah.
And when it comes to this dude, William Fitzpatrick, the special prosecutor, ain't nothing special about him. He don't care about Mr. Robert Brooks. He don't care. All of this is a game. This is a stage play to them. They don't care. They just
Ain't that what I just said? I always say.
And that brings
Oh
us
my
to the
God.
prison workers
You know what?
on strike. Notice in every
This
video,
right
all
here.
of them. I mean, all
This right here is solidifying the point that I'm not crazy. Everybody wants me to think I'm crazy. Oh my God. A stage play. That's exactly what I liken it to. It is not held to come to the result of justice. Though verdict means truth, they are not interested in the truth.
are Caucasian people. And the real reason why they on strike is because those 18 officers, those 18 employees got caught. They got charged. That's why they on strike. Anything else you hear, it's all a lie. They on strike because they people finally got charged and they can't believe it. Because they've been getting away with this for decades. You gotta step back and think.
No.
Upstate New York,
Longer
people
than
don't really
decade.
think about
A
upstate
decade.
New
It's
York.
been a long
They think
time.
about New York, they think about New York City.
Maybe
Even
been
people
a
from New
long
York that
time.
live in New York City, they say that the rest of New York is not New York. They don't even claim Buffalo. They don't claim Albany. They don't claim none of these places. So they can get away with a lot of crime against our people because nobody really cares. For example, back in 2015, prison
already
guard
said
beat up
nobody
squad was blamed
cares.
in New York inmates' death. See, they've been getting away with this, but now we finally have the internet. Everyone is more conscious. I think after 2020, people start paying attention to things more. And I'm gonna keep it real with me. I care about my black people in upstate New York. So I'm gonna see everything. I'm gonna notice everything. I'm gonna report everything when it's against our people. All those pale caveman prison workers, they outside in the cold, in the snow, they on strike because their friends, their gang members, they finally got caught. They finally got charged and they can't believe it. And look, don't get it twisted. This case is gonna get real. And when I say real, you might hear about some of these officers that got charged. They might bow, they might delete themselves because these people are still human. On the outside on TV, they can look soulless and emotionless to us, like they don't care. But behind closed,
This is crazy. I was just about to say something. But back to that plea, you know what a plea is. So that means somebody is cooperating and most likely going to give up some information. They're going to work with. The person that pleads usually is working with the state to prosecute. So you take a plea, you can very well be the guiltiest party of them all, but you take a plea, it almost gives you protection. And it ensures that you're not getting the harshest of the sentence. You're not getting the full effect of the sentence. So a lot of people do take pleas to lessen the blow. I did a video about that too, where it was talking about wrongfully convicted people are not going to take pleas, which ends up being true. That's one of the things that ends up hurting an innocent person because they want to have their day in court. But like I said, it's a stage play, so they want their day on stage. It's really just a play. But also people take pleas because when they're innocent and they already know the system and you really can't win this game, they'll take a plea just to lessen what happens to them. But in this case, I believe it's gonna be when something happens, it's like a hot potato. They're trying to get the hot potato off of them, onto somebody else. It's you against them, it's them against you, it's her against him, it's him against her. y'all don't be all together once it actually goes down. Once it goes down, it's almost every man for himself.
But behind closed doors, they are in hell. Because you gotta think about it. These dudes are still human. And they are cowards. And what's the worst thing to a coward? Embarrassment, public shame. They have to go to court. They have to show their face. They really in the deep end now. And that's the worst thing for a coward. They do not want to be exposed. They finally exposed them. And slowly that will start to take toll on these demons. And you gotta look at it like this. They kids. A lot of their kids might start looking at them sideways like, why would you do that? Why would you hurt another human being? I'm telling you how real life works. It's not, you think these people not being punished because they made bail? No, life is not that easy. You can't just...
And that part, a lot of the people with the old mentality, their kids are not coming up with that mentality. Some are, but some aren't. And some are gonna question. That's why a lot of TikTok is people questioning, like, what is this? Why is this going on like this? This don't seem like justice to me. This don't seem right. Question a lot of things that we never questioned for centuries. Now, newer generations are starting to question.
Someone, you can't just delete someone and move on with life like nothing happened. I tell y'all all the time, if you unalive someone, you mess up the universe and you are in debt. Mm-hmm. And look, I'm gonna keep it real. The racism in upstate New York is worse than the South. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. And if you live upstate New York, or if you ever live in upstate New York, or if you're from upstate New York, let me know if I'm lying. The racism is real. From Albany, from Buffalo to Boston, Massachusetts. Go to Boston and see how it really is. You have these KKK members, aka the prison workers, outside on strike, so they can be able to unalive prisoners and get away with it. The only reason why they're striking is because their friends got caught, their gang members got caught. And on everything I love, I really hope all of y'all see this video. I hope you're sitting down in your house, you don't have a job, they probably still paying you, but that don't matter. Just because you made bail, just because they gave you a bond, it don't mean you're free. You still gotta go through that psychological...
And then, okay, hold on. What type of bond are they on? Because my husband that was wrongfully arrested, which we're coming up on 24 years now. 23 years. No, his wrongful arrest 24 years ago, right? Put on bond, but then he had to be on an ankle monitor. He wasn't just let on bond to be free. He couldn't go out for nothing but our daughter's like doctor's appointments, to look for jobs, or to actually go to school or work, which the first half he could not find work, right? So what type of bond are they on? Are they on a bond where they can go about life as normal? Or are they on, do they have a monitor? And mind you, my husband was arrested for an alleged robbery of $60. And the reason I say 80, I mean 60, is because the people that they allege he robbed had initially wrote 80. When the officer searched my husband and found him with only $60, he gave their sworn affidavits back and told them to amend it to say 60 so that it aligns with what my husband had on him. And it would be easier for them to wrongfully convict him. That is why he did that. Even though the judge said it's clear that the money does not align. So if the money does not align, how is it a robbery? But they still charged him with it. And they attached a weapon that they said my husband carried, but they could never find. They didn't find. And my husband was arrested right at the alleged scene of the alleged crime, right? they tried to make it look like my husband ran off so that that could excuse why we can't find the weapon that we're charging him with. But it was found that it was a lie. My husband never ran. When they told him to come here, he came here. So how could he have discarded this weapon? So the weapon couldn't have never existed. But yet they still charged him with it. Oh, that rhymes. The weapon could have never existed, but yet they still charged him with it. Yes, they surely did. And it escalated from 10 years to 40. And the judge said, I want to give him life, but I'm going to be lenient on him so that he has a second chance at life one day, and I'll only give him 40 years. We are 23 years in on his wrongful conviction, wrongful imprisonment. In that time, it happened when our daughter was 2 months old. I barely got off of bed rest before this mess, whatever, I'm again, before this mess started, right? Barely got off of bed rest. But for 7 months, because I paid to get the lawyer to get him a bond on house arrest. That's how our daughter was able to build a bond with her father. So are they treating him in the same way? These guys, are they treating them in the same way that they treated my husband? They're probably treating them a lot. They're probably going a lot easier on them than they did my husband. An innocent man. And I cover so many innocent people that have been in prison, that's in prison, that's this system.
Fair. And you can't escape that. So again, to the prison workers that's on strike, to those 18 employees, to those 18 officers and nurses that unalived Mr. Brooks, welcome to hell. With this one, you will not get away. I'm out.
This is why I love his channel.
You want to be greatest genes.
Because he's telling the truth. He's telling the truth. He's not scared to tell the truth. And we need somebody like that. We really do. Because this stuff is happening, like you said, all the time. Happening a lot. I would say all over this country. But this time, it was done in the dark, but it came to light. All right, so with that, we're gonna stop here. Introverted rock star. I'm surprised I was able to actually get to it. It's not finished. I do got some more work to do, but at least I'm making progress because I have been very unmotivated to continue my project. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna let you go. It's your girl Cadillac.